Which, no, too many ads. Nice Pacific God. At Arena, game number 1. Acaray and Hideout for Acro, then Skakuza. And Palisade Socotra. Haven't seen too much of that, but yes, more Palisade with Socotra there for Nikov. Lovely. How do you get a drop shadow behind this orb right at the top? That'd be nice too, and be consistent with everything else. So hopefully YouTube's working too. So Britons again. Maybe for Arena for Acro. Pretty favored pick these days. Okay. Which too many ads, I can't take it. Open Firefox. It's trying to do anything in Chrome these days is a horrible experience. Just have the dashboard open there because it seems to work better in Chrome than Firefox for some reason. Oh, there you go. Damn. Can't even browse the AoE2 stream category without getting bombarded with ads. Which tells me to click and hold a link for a preview, but clicking and holding doesn't seem to do anything. What is Luna? Why is Twitch trying to get me to play Fallout New Vegas? I enjoy New Vegas, but don't spam ads at me, Twitch. Couch doesn't like fun. Hello, Potkenny. One of those map bans, Wellspring, Triple Tunnel, and Canberra. He doesn't want Acro to do something crazy and snipe him. At least he didn't ban Arena. He didn't ban the most fun map. He's alive, yes. Let me make sure that I'm watching them properly on the dashboard. And maybe I'll cast some games after this, or do community games or something. Hello, Cheney. Yeah, the headache I had earlier in the day has definitely subsided quite a bit. Still not feeling perfect, but definitely better than it was. Hello on YouTube, Vanilla Donut and Luna Rain. Is sniping the last pick a power move, or was it Japan for a reason? Ooh. No water maps like Triple Tunnel. I don't know what Acro was thinking there. That is a good question. Sniping the last pick. That is a strategy, sniping the last pick. So they're in the lobby. They have sudden death on coastal selected. Hopefully they get the map right. Thanks to E if they don't. Oh, I just saw that AoE4 is coming to PlayStation 5. Look at that. Porting all their titles over to PlayStation. What's Acro's level? It's like 2K2, 2K3? And right now he's 2146. Probably a bit higher than that, usually. Let's see if the spec dashboard bot starts working like that. One is Palisades Socotra. If you take Socotra, give every player a wall of Palisades. I think that describes it pretty well. I do expect Nikov to win, yes. But you never know when we get upsets. Like the first round, we saw upsets from 1900s, even lower than that. Picking games from, like, even 1700s, picking games from top players. Now it's 2K2 players to have a chance to upset top players. And Acro is definitely someone who will have prepared for this. Will have prepared and been very ready to go for the TCs. And they're launching. Lovely. And hello, Maximino. Hello again. Your son asked yesterday why army people don't collect rock. He is obsessed with Persian war elephants. He wants everyone mining the stone for more castles, I see. I didn't check the Medieval 2 music, no. I need to check that out at some point. If I first need to actually put together the 5 minutes it'll take me to put the bar on the overlay for the chicken costume sub-goal. I need to do that sooner rather than later. You two were obsessed with war elephants when you were 5? When I was 5, war elephants didn't even exist yet, because AoE 2 was released when I was 6. Or was it when I was 5? I was born in 93. I guess I turned 1 in 94. I would have turned 5 in 99 then. So yeah, okay, I guess they came out when I was 5. Maybe I played it then. I probably did. No, I played AoE 1 first. Barracks unit which can collect a particular resource. Well, the opposite of that would be the slingers in AoE 1, which cost stone. Alright, in Arena, the best map will be game number 1. And here we go. So Acro will be playing as the Blue Britons to the northwest, and Nikov as the Red Malay to the northeast. A very even arena map that both have like the same back area too. It'll be this lush bamboo version of arena. If it has chickens, well, this one's a deer. This one is a deer arena. The more fun to play arena. Only 3 deer instead of 4 though. It does not. Hello, Sean. Well, that's what I've been saying. If you're going to put chickens on arena, you need to make sure you're giving the back wall. Because without the back wall, the funnels are not always fair. Relics do favor Nikov. We have nice semicircle of relics, kind of. Yeah, this is DE's arena, with how large the middle of it is. I noticed the relics are pretty unfair. They're red foxes, so I guess players go to the middle to push the foxes. There's going to be 1 relic right to the north, kind of between them, slightly closer to Acro. Then 2 relics much closer to Nikov. 1 more in the middle of the map, maybe a bit closer to Nikov, then 1 down here, slightly closer to Acro. So all in all, I'd say relic advantage for Nikov. A couple little gravestones out in the middle, representing people who died trying to pick up relics in the past. You do have these foxes that have 35 gold on each of them. Collecting them with one villager gives you 31 gold. You can push them in with your scout to get them into your base, and then take gold, maybe skip the mining camp. And taking one of them means you can just sell wood instead of doing a mining camp, which I don't know if that's really worthwhile, because then you're not actually having a mining camp in the long run. But that was a build people would do back in the day. Long distance mine some gold, and then sell 100 wood. Which, if you think about it, you could just send one vill to a mining camp. I guess that probably takes more time. You're thinking of saving the time that it spends mining the gold. Don't know how worth it that is, though. There was a build where you would be mining stone and then mine 10 gold, then sell the stone to go up for build with stone. That was probably worth it. You don't see that too often these days, though. You could see that to go for, instead of 1 TC, 1, 2, 3, or instead of 2 additional TCs, 3 additional TCs, because you'd be on the stone, but obviously not going to do that for sudden death. Also, elephants on this version of Arena. Oh gosh, you get so much extra food with the elephants. I'll have to pay attention to that if I'm playing Ladder Arena. If you have the elephants, you go up so much faster. You take 10 gold and sell 100 stone. You can still do that. The elephant didn't follow. Thanks, DE. Oh man, I'm talking about TCs killing boars. I miss needing to shoot the boars twice. Man, that was honestly more fun than shooting them once. I wish we could go back to that and undo some of the silly changes DE made. I mean, make the boars actually difficult to lure again. Make the Dark Age fun once more. Okay, and there's another vill collecting gold from the foxes. And Nikov is going to have 200 gold from having one vill in the middle. I don't know if it's worth all the time it took to send the vill out there, though. Nikov's just been collecting foxes. Maybe it is if he collects well over 100 gold. Too crazy shooting the boar twice? Yes. I miss that. Doesn't the tutorial still say you have to shoot it twice? I need you. Let me make sure I'm not rendering my own stream in my overlays. Hold on. Here we go. Also, remind me about that soundtrack, Maximino. I need to think of more music to add to the overlay. I'm actually thinking about this, and I don't know how well it'll work, of like randomizing the order in which the background scenes play. Maybe grab a few more and randomize their order. Maybe even have like a community contest, like you can submit short clips for the background overlay. Or recorded games where there are fun clips. Sudden Dessaster is probably a good event for that. Yeah, now you have to play No Matter BF for fun boar luring. But even then, imagine if we went back to BF where you had to lure 3 boars by shooting each of them twice. Or lure 6 boars by shooting each twice. There is Feudal Age on the way from Acro. And he's going up 22 vills, 1 scout. Very standard for the Britons to go up on 23 pop. 1 lumber camp, only 1 farm. Usually I do 3 farms when I do this, but I guess 1 farm probably works out just fine. Especially if you have the elephants with all the extra food on them. You don't need as many vills on wood, but then you kind of take all your goats and then you run out of stuff for the vills to do under the TC. Kingdom Come Deliverance. Ooh. That's good. I've never actually listened to that. I'll have to give it a listen and see if it fits in with AoE 2's soundtrack. Witcher 3 had a great soundtrack, but I don't know if that fits with AoE 2. Maybe it does. I'll need to think about that. There's a market and a blacksmith. There's still a fox down there. Imagine if scouts could gather from foxes. Can scouts right-click and attack the foxes? Can they kill the foxes? Also, foxes have only 3 hit points. This guy looks far more aggressive than he is running away from everything. Okay, so Feudal Age Scout from Acro wants to get the first hit on Nikov's Scout, and he will get 2 hits, even, before Nikov has to run. There's so many foxes on this map. Nikov got all that gold. Taking the foxes. Next step is just lure the foxes with your Scout. If you get a chicken map, that's what you do, I guess. So, Market Blacksmith for Nikov. Hello, DJ. How you doing? Oh, he's going for the old school wall in the Scout play. I remember Eddie doing that, and when you had the gates in the corners with 2 houses. Oh, and Gabby, thank you so much for the raid. I've seen you've been grinding out those 1v1s. I'm gonna see you at 2k6 soon. This map is so foxy. You're a double bit axe both players up to castle. Oh, thank you, Rise, for the follow. So Nikov adding in a few more farms. Even as the melee, not going to be up quite as fast as Acro. He did click up really quickly. And he's just mining a ton of stone. Oh, and he's going to go for a forward castle drop. He has the stone for the castle. Or maybe he'll just do it at home? Oh, let's see. If you were doing it forward, he'd probably have to be going across the map already. He's just going to do it at home. Okay, he's going to be going longbows. Gambit Siege Tower. Well, I guess castle defense kind of counters that. And I'll have another monastery going up for Nikov. And he'll be doing a castle. Well, you were right with the Karambits. Let's see if he thinks of going for the siege tower like you do. Monastery here for Acro. Okay, he'll be going longbows to help collect relics then. Oh, man, I remember back on Voobly, you'd go 28 plus 2 for a castle. Now it's 23 plus 2. Look at Acro, still 0 idle TC seconds. He is spamming that select TC, create Vil Hockey as fast as he can as he's loading in. And he's going to start picking up relics. There is a scout there. Longbow will try to fend it off from the monk. Monk will run back into 2 more longbows. Can he get the scout? Scout gets 1 hit on the monk, 2nd hit on the monk, and can't quite kill the monk. He will be in, just scouting, but scouting will be finding a castle. Those could even hit the scout. Down it goes. Not sure he got much value out of that, but the monk will pick up the relic. And Nikov will get 1 relic himself. I'll have that that melee castle. Probably my least favorite castle in the game. Britain's castle is the classic one. I love this castle. And well, there goes that 0 idle TC time. I spoke too soon. Now he's at 18 seconds. Shouldn't his castle be closer to his TC? He wants the castle on the walls to facilitate picking up relics. And I think he deleted 1 segment too many of walls, because now he's opened a hole in the base, but that won't really matter. North European? I like it. I still feel like the Central European, though, with the Teuton's architecture actually is still my favorite. I think I like that one a bit more. This is probably my 2nd favorite in the game. There you go, Monk gets conversion on the Karambit. And I'll be longbows and Karambits in the middle. Rabbits hit the scout back. Monk going for the relic.
Mandatum.
Bodkin arrow on the way there for Acro. One area that Hare is bad at picking castle styles. He said, what? That's like as big of an L as he takes in A-tier tournaments. Another relic picked up there for Acro. It's 2-2 now. Acro might get 3-2. Monk with relic garrisoning? Yes, you can always garrison in a castle with the relic. Oh, look at them go. Look at the Jaguars go. Or not the Jaguars, the Tigers? Look at the Tigers go. They're going right after those Karambits. Oh, they switch sides. Those longbows really need that ballistics tech, but it's on the way. And 4-field difference, but Acro will get an extra relic. So, tiny bit more idle TC time for Acro now. But he's got the farms out, that shouldn't be an issue anymore. And also just Nikov as the melee has more vills naturally. Only 10 seconds of idle TC time, so very well managed so far. I guess that's nice for sudden death, you don't have to worry too much about the TC. This is why you have Siege Tower. New Persian Castle is a downgrade, do you like the old one? Okay, so gold mining on the way for Acro. The eco techs, Nikov. Only the feudal age ones, none of the castle age ones. Acro, doesn't even have horse collar for the farms. That's something you might want to fix. Even more than gold mining. Horse collar now, I think, should be like an auto click as soon as he gets imp, if that's what he's saving for. As Nikov's up to imp is the melee, but they always do go up fast. And hard to use any siege other than rams against the Britons, and melee only have cap ram, no siege ram. And it's 26 karambits, more than 30 karambits. Oh, 27 total karambits, wait. Oh, I selected those too. So karambits, monks going for conversions. Are the longbows out of position? Loom on the way for Nikov. This has to be microed now from Acro. Lots of karambits to go down. He's trying to pathfind into the little gap. That scout running some good interference. And I think all the karambits are going to go down. And maybe the longboats get trapped in the corner by the monk, but the karambits are dying. Okay, lots of losses on both sides. They're both going to lose most of their armies. And maybe that was a bit better for Nikov. Longbow is a bit too far out on the map without protection. And more karambits going down. That's now going to be Nikov coming for a forward castle, and Acro still has not managed to click up. Still has not quite managed to click up. So didn't... There we go. And also didn't have horse collar. You can see all the farms expiring. So he does have one extra relic, but 1k more res collected for the melee with their amazing economy. And, well, Acro is gonna have to hold, I think, and hope that Warwolf Trebs are enough for him, as Nikov already is coming forward with the Trebs. Longbow at least pretty effective at defending behind walls. No way on this 1TC eco, though, that Acro somehow manages to afford Yeoman on the way up. He's gonna have to just run back with whatever longbows he still has. And free armor for melee still is insane, right? 1+5. Imagine if they didn't have free armor. Longbows would have done so much more damage in that fight. Acro is not going to be able to deny that castle. It does go up, and there he's going to call it GG. He's up too slowly. And Nikov will win 1-0. Alright, the melee. And that faster imp. Karambits in faster imp. Paid off for Nikov. You don't expect him to have a single Warwolf Treb? Neither do I. Zealous knows a thing or two about pulling off upsets. So that's 28 kills, 27 losses. A better economy for Nikov. I mean, better uptimings for Acro. And helped me get one relic, but in the long run, I don't know if that mattered too much. Imagine all in castle from which player? From whom? I wonder if this is maybe an opportunity for Britons just to go double castle full longbow. Maybe not, because the melee players always had skirms. But yeah. I mean, full castle from Britain involves researching yeoman, which is very expensive. What is that? 750 wood, 450 gold. That's really delaying your imp time. That's the same total resources as Warwolf. Cost definitely justified for how powerful it is. Your screen is bugged, can't see any siege towers. Champs and halbs from the Britons. Yeah, their second castle or expos deny forward. Or just, yeah, second castle for more longbows. And as great as longbows are, maybe it could have been a play just instead of the castle to go straight expo. Like, we used to have that archer opening on arena. You could just go straight for that. Is it still more expensive than Chautauqua? I don't think the price of either has changed recently. But then again, I'm clueless when it comes to balance patches. I'm not the person to ask. Here, it's 1-0 for Nikov. He will win on Arena. And he banned the fun sniping maps. And these were the first picks from both of them. Don't really see what they do on sudden death. I'd imagine similar to the longbows, but just you have more of them. But there's also the bias of seeing a situation where Nikov went Karambit to counter to have numbers over the longbows. And maybe he does something different. If it's just crossbow. Hers is playing Water Nomad. Japanese OP, that's why they're banned, I guess. Right, and here we go, Hideout. So to the west, we'll have Acro playing as the blue Vietnamese, and to the east, we'll have Nikov as the red Burmese. Now, Vietnamese, despite having an archer unique unit, I think they can be fairly weak to a monk rush. And if Nikov goes around the short side, maybe he could go monk rush monasteries as the Burmese and try to push in the castle age. Acro does have 1 gold forward, 1 towards the back, so he does have something to fall back to. Relics look very even, I have to say, this game. Very even. And hello, Sniper. How are you doing? Hope you're having a good evening. Sanika, one lumber camp there, I think. Acro probably there. Don't have to worry about TC spots. Where the deer are very far outside. Look at that. Very far lower. Nikov just deleting walls. Not going to push him through the gate. Not going to use a sheep. And hopefully he is going to get them all the way in.
Hey.
Lowering a board nice and early.
Okay.
Wonder if he has a fast up build as the Burmese. Could always go men-at-arms and try to trush.
Okay.
Not shooting with the TC yet. How does the Vietnamese team bonus work in Nomad games? As soon as the TC is up, then you see the other TCs. That's not their team bonus, though. It is a Civ bonus that applies to the team. because you now share the vision. If you remember in HD, you always had to ping the TC locations and say who was where. Really should have been the team bonus right from the start. Yeah, the team bonus is the imp scarab. I agree with you, Henry. I'm not a fan of the change. Like I was saying in the previous game, bring back shooting the boar twice. Out pushing the deer. Diagonal wall hopping, that's still here, it's still here. There's been no change to that, just to the places where the gates spawn. And that boar not being lured while the Vil was there. Ooh. If I'm Acaray, I'm thinking maybe do one more house out there, then lure the boar. But he'll get his final deer in, no problem there. No forward laming attempt from Nikov. Bring back the Mangonel deletes. That was fun. I can understand why they deleted that. I would have been fine if had they left it in, but I'm also fine with them having removed it. Same with Palisade scanning or like Foundation scouting. Would have been fine if they left it in, but I'm also fine that it's removed. No real strong opinion there. So it's not as fundamental as boar luring that I think has been absolutely devastated. Straggler laming, I'm also fine without that. And Taisito, thank you for the follow. To have a Palisade scanning was too cumbersome? Oh, I just gotta pick the Palisade and look for stuff with it. That's just kind of silly. But yeah, look at Acro. Shooting the boar with the Vils. Always an option. He's 2k2. He uses the Vils. Wish they couldn't hit boars. I was saying this the other day, but I think that boars might be more interesting if they had 200 food on them, but you had more of them. Like 4 boars. So you have more stuff to do in the Dark Age by luring all of them, and your laming is maybe a bit encouraged because it's easier to find a boar, but also less impactful. So you can do something with the scout by going forward and laming, but it doesn't have the same impact that it does. You miss wood hunting? That is something I laughed at, but I don't miss. But Montezuma won with 20 Vils, 5 on each resource. At least that's perfectly balanced. How many scenarios are there in AoE 2 where you start in the Dark Age and have boars? At least in AOK and AOC. I think the only one would have been Genghis Khan 2 with Kushluk. There are other scenarios with boars, but none in the Dark Age like that, so any other ones you would have loom already. William Wallace. I don't think there are any boars in the Battle of Sterling. 500 food, but Berber trade cog speed. Well, we already ran into the Iron Boar with 700 food, breaking Attila. Huns 1. Are there boars to hunt in Attila 1? That's a good question. There is the Iron Boar, of course, but I'm not going to count that because it's killed before you... Oh, I guess it's not necessarily killed. I guess not necessarily. You could run away from the fight, and then you could come back with the Vils to collect the 700 food from it. Like, you go there, you let the boar kill Bleda, you run back, and then you get the boar. Yeah, you could, okay. Kushluk 1 and Attila 1 with the Iron Boar. You could use your Tarkans to weaken it, finish it with a Vil, and then get 700 food. Oh! Yeah, you could kill the Iron Boar, but then he attacks you. You let the Iron Boar kill him, then you just run back. Or you just run away entirely, and then you go across the river to build up. Or you somehow combine the options. You used to be able to do that. You used to be able to, I think, get the boar to attack him while also running across the river, but I think that they swapped that in DE. So you'd get a whole bunch, you get basically 2 starting bases if you pulled that off. So there's Nikov up to feudal. He is the Burmese, and still wondering if he does want to monk rush here. He's just going to go market blacksmith. But considering he's not on gold, I'm guessing the answer is a no. What's he going to do? Just sell stone here? I guess you don't need the stone. What's he going to do then? How's he going to get the gold? 1 vil on gold, 3 on gold. Okay, but he sold the stone. Backstab letter in the beginning. Another house going up for Acro. And Acro's going heavy onto the gold. Okay, so what's he going to do heavy on gold? And Nikov's coming forward. And if I didn't know better, I'd say this is a good old monk rush from Nikov. Gonna look to fight. And he's running away, so there's a barracks. Interesting he's going for the spear, but I guess we'll have the extra attack as the Burmese no matter what. And Acro, if he's seeing Nikov run the scout like this, he has to be thinking Nikov's going to do something coming forward up here, so he has to be prepared for the monk rush. And that's whenever you see someone who scouts at the front of your base and they run you in the opposite direction, that's usually an indication they're trying to prevent your scout from seeing their forward vills. And now that he's up to the castle age, he's going to have that spear there. And it's going to be a workshop. Okay, not even a monk rush, a workshop. And now he has an extra hit on the scout there. Or no, he doesn't. He didn't actually get the hit there. Okay, well, there's a workshop. So not just a monk rush, just a pure workshop. Okay, okay. What's Nikov cooking up here? Counter monk for Vietnamese. They do have atonement, but they're not going to have redemption. So if they tried to go monk defense, mangonels would flatten them. I really don't have good monks in this situation. I mean, they do have Sanctity and Atonement, but you're probably not going to do that, as I said, in the presence of the mangonels. So I have a university for Acro. A university. As he's doing a forward workshop. Okay, so he's going to try to go forward on Nikov too. Nikov's going to wall this up. Okay, so we're going to have a double forward here. But I feel like Nikov's in much faster. He's adding more spears to the rams, and he's going to do a mangonel. Not quite a build yet, but he'll workshop it. And watchtower there. So he's going to go guard tower defense, Acro is. Guard tower defense. He'll get 2 guard towers by the TC. Use them to stop the mangonels. Maybe a bit worried about the gold. But yeah, there it is. There's guard tower. That'll keep the mangonels away, and if he's fighting under the TC, he can use vills against the rams. He's got that tower garrisoned. That's a lot of idle vil time, though, if he's going to be garrisoning in the towers. And he also needs fletching and bodkin, so he can't hit the mangonel yet. Oh gosh, those graphics, the mangonel overlapping the TC wing. The Z-axis not properly rendering. Is this tower too far back? Is Nikov going to find a blind spot where he can hit the TC? He needs bodkin. Oh, he has no food, though. He can do one more tower, but he really needs bodkin, and his eco is not set up to defend this. He has 1 forward ram, 1 lonely forward ram. But that's not the food for bodkin. Selling stone, buying food. He needs to farm. He needs to farm under the mangonels just to get the food. 207. There he goes. Bodkin on the way. Needs to repair the TC. Needs to fight the rams with the vills. Has to bring vills from the back to repair. He's still okay as long as he repairs maybe. Gates to stop vills from rushing the mangonels. He's repairing in the back. The mangonels are going to destroy the ram for him. And TC... Oh, vills can't repair with the repair hockey. They need to be on the outside. He's out of wood. Has to buy it. Has to buy it. Bodkin's in. Bodkin's in. He can shoot the mangonels now. He can shoot the mangonels. And maybe that's just enough to save him. But he needs to sell stone again and buy wood. He doesn't have the wood to repair. Has to force drop at the lumber camp to get the wood. Nikov out with 4 mangonels. Disaster for Acro. And Nikov takes a 2-0 lead. He needed the towers slightly more forward. The starting farms needed to be on the inside of the base and not the outside, so he had better spaces for him. Oh, the lack of Bodkin. He researched guard tower before Bodkin, and he couldn't reach the mangonels. TC Escher. Oh, wait. When the TC goes down, the tower renders properly. Look at that. Meanwhile, he had a lonely ram over here. That was quick, yes. That's 2-0 for Nikov. Nikov will win Hideout. The Burmese over Vietnamese. Yeah, I guess it's probably a single object instead of multiple objects placed together. Oh, if I didn't read this earlier, thank you, Taisito, for the follow. TC definitely the weirdest building in the game. There's a reason Galactic Battlegrounds did not have the walking TC, and it's probably because they couldn't understand him. Galactic Battlegrounds Remaster. From what I heard, they had inquired about the license from Disney, but weren't able to get it. And looks like Acaray indeed will be our next map. They'll live forever and ever. So welcome to Acaray. We will have Nikov collecting his 2 castles. Acro going for one then the other. Not immediately going for him. Could be a risk there. And where does Nikov send in that villager? She's going forward, probably for a dock in the south? Or just going forward and coming back? Hello, Bloodless again? Look at these, oh, some mangrove trees down here in the middle. Nice. I guess these are a bunch of lands that dot the middle and run up. I wonder if we could make some more randomness to this. Definitely someone did point out the wood lines on the sides are completely straight. We could maybe adjust that. FX being pushed in by the scout. Taken by the Vills. Sup, Onion? How you doing, Onion? There's a lot of llamas there. So you have a ton of pop space on this map, so you don't need to do any houses. Blue is so much closer to wood. That is a good point. Yeah, it feels like Acro is closer to the wood line. Nikov has to run farther out. Also, the main golds, all these golds in the back here, are very far in the back for Acro, so he has a fairly safe map other than that forward stone, maybe the forward berries. Nikov, I guess, gold, berries, stone, and gold all in the back. I mentioned this earlier, but I think what happens here is when you use the tight grouping, the rest of the objects can ignore the terrain restrictions somewhat. So wherever the center of this gold is, it's not far enough away from the rock that the other objects also get on the rock. Weird map things. Just AoE 2 things. So is anyone docking? Nikov will be docking the north. No big fish there, only the shorefish. But we'll give him that eventual access to transporting the Vil and getting the monastery up here. Maybe if you were the Georgians or Armenians on this map, you could transport a Vil with a mule cart up here and take the deer. I guess you could just do a normal mill. Lots of deer up there. I mean, you get 10 deer. Well, I wonder if anyone would ever do that. You'd have a really safe eco, but couldn't really use the Vills for repairing your TC. So that could be a risk, not having the Vills in your base. So more Ibexes being pushed here for Acro. Has the mill for it on the berries. So Ibex now being pushed in by the scout. Taken by the Vills. And we'll have a mining camp. Mining camp in the back there for Acro. Mining camp in the back. And Castle will be shooting the wall. So Spanish Koreans, conquistadors versus war wagons. Conquistadors, war wagons. Interesting. When war wagons get ballistics with all the HP they have, they probably win. But... ooh, the free armor. Does the armor matter as much against conks when they have such a high attack? Maybe not. Still helps, though. Where the heck did that last Ibex go? Back there behind the wall. Yeah, war wagons versus conks. And just like double production from both. Unfortunate Ibex spawn, unfortunate Ibex pathing. Even in the Nilly patch with the new pathfinding. So Ibex is being pushed now towards the TC there for Acro. And you can have docking. He's gonna have 4 extra fishing ships, but on the shorefish. Acro will be up faster. And your wood line is very exposed from the TC, so if you're up slower, you might need to do some type of towering to keep it safe if the enemy goes conks first. Oh my gosh, Spanish Inquisition. He could go Inquisition and double like monastery missionaries? I mean, war wagons usually are weak to monks. Legit, that might work, going for missionaries. That's going to be cheaper than conks. And you could legit do just barracks stable. And do bloodlines and husbandry for them. And then at the monasteries, you also do sanctity and fervor. And then they're super speedy and rather tanky against the war wagons. And you force Nikov then to do devotion, which is not as expensive as all your upgrades, but you still have to do it. You've intrigued me by that idea, and you go Inquisition missionaries that'll then have 8 range and be speedy enough to chase down the war wagons. What is their speed compared to war wagons? And then with the missionaries, you can do petards in the castle. There's no way you have eco for all of that. They also benefit from the armor? Oh, they do, really, really, really. Which armor then? Is it the archer one or the barding armor? Really? Okay, okay. So now we're thinking spend so much eco on your upgrades that you can't afford it on 1 TC and go missionaries. But I like the idea still. Maybe this is something you can do. Did I try llama steak? I don't think I've ever had llama. I have had boar before, but not llama. Some walls getting deleted. Castle shooting at the scout. We'll have Castle Age on the way from Nikov. We made a camera obscure out of box and a squash, the dark part of an old camera that captures the image, but it's inverted. That sounds like a fun project. So Acker will be up first. He's taking a hit from the scout, but will still be looking to engage on Nikov. Don't see any movement for monasteries here. Nikov gonna go probably transport soon. Doesn't quite have the wood for it yet. Transport and do the monastery, but should be in the back of his mind. Yeah, exactly. Bloodlines and husbandry work for them. They didn't used to, but they do now. So still engaging in the scout fight there. Acro, remember, you can always heal your scout, so you really don't want to engage in a fight that you lose. So lots of walls from Nikov here, trying to force whatever comes forward to go into the castles. No, Acro finding a hill. Finding a hill, and ooh, whoever gets the next hit wins. So they're both going to pull back. Nikov can go heal in his castle if he wants to. Now gold mining on the ways, he's up to the castle age. He's just going to keep walling. Can't wall on the rock terrain. Acro, don't run into the castle. Don't do it, Acro. Keep your scout alive. Heal it with your missionaries. So he is going very heavy onto the berries, and he's going to start going conquistadors. And that worries me a bit, because he doesn't have a single farm. And how's he going to afford double castle conch production when the 12 vills on these berries finish the berries, which they will just about now? And how's he going to make farms if he has 11 wood and does not have a lumber camp? Has to buy for a mining camp. And he's going full petard. He's going to go full petards. He's got 8 total queued. He's going to try to destroy that palisade. And if he can get Nikov and the war wagons distracted, maybe this will work. I have seen this work before. But Nikov has walled enough. I mean, 1 petard goes through the palisade, and then you have 7 more when you need 6, or you need 5 to destroy TC. So there still is a chance this works. There are 4 of them. He needs to make sure the war wagons don't find them. Nikov going all the way around to the south. Conks will blow up that palisade. And he needs 5 for the TC. And he has 5. He has 6. He can go now. He's going to wait for 8. He has no eco left to speak of. There's 7. And there's 8. All the... He's getting 2 more. He's going to get 10 petards. Is that enough? I think it might be. There's loom for Nikov. Nikov trying to loop around the south. There's no way Nikov stops this if his war wagons are forward. There's 9 petards. Waiting for the 10th. There's 10. Now he's going. Alright, and that wall is open. Nikov not going to go try to re-wall it. And Acro's got this. Acro's got this. There he goes. Oh, you're right. They aren't affected by your upgrades because they're Gaia. Correct. Here it comes. Here it comes. Nikov's going to spot it. And here they go. 3 war wagons are all he has to stop 9, 10 petards right now. Here come all the vills home. 1 petard will go down. He's trying to do quick gates. The conks can destroy the gates. 1 more gate. Petards just need to get under the TC. And boom, there he goes. Acro gets a win. He's on the scoreboard. Nikov was thinking he'd raid with war wagons, but no, the wall's not enough to stop the petards, and he does it. Let's go. And if war wagons, I mean, war wagons aren't enough to stop this. What unique unit actually is enough to stop all those petards? Probably something melee. Maybe like Tarkins? If you go Huns and try to Tarkin snipe the TC? I don't know. This map is very deceptive in thinking that you're safe when you have double castle unique units, but you're not. Monks would stop that maybe, you're right. Karambits maybe. But hard to say. Map name? Acaray? Maybe I'm saying it wrong, but it feels okay. So 4-0 KD, but Infinity buildings raising to loss ratio. And Acro does it. Skips the dock, goes for the fast up. Just enough food to make the petards. Do they explode faster? I think the explosion is instant, so I'm going to say no. That puts Acro on the scoreboard. Wins Acaray. I'm guessing we'll see Skukuza for the next game. That's a loss for the Koreans and a win for the Spanish. Let's go, Acro, getting on the scoreboard. And Skukuza indeed will be the next map pick. Aren't included in any bonus except castle production. So the Berbers tech makes the petards train faster. I did a live, yes, I did a live stream earlier. It's on the VODs on YouTube if you want to see it. Wagenberg petards. So here we are on Skakuza. Nikov shall be the red Romans to the west, and Acro the blue Georgians to the south. Feels like Acro's maybe a bit closer to the Hunt, but I guess it has to go around the back of his TC, so that's a trade-off. It will. It'll take you weeks. That's okay. It'll be there. That's the fun part of the VODs. They stay up there. Zebra will make its way into the TC. Scout will push in the Zebra. There we are. You heckin' love deer pushing? I do too. Chickens just make me sad because there's no way to interact with them other than the funnels. And the funnels are a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But the idea of a non-interactable animal is just like they made extra berries. I love watching Slam push deer. And I'll be like late at night, it'll be 3 AM, I wake up, and Slam will be playing Black Forest, and I can just watch him push those deer in. Oh, that's lovely. Gets me right back to sleep. Zebra on the way. So Romans, Georgians. Romans will collect slightly faster from the Hunt. Georgians, if they get to the next age, or not the next age, the castle age, they can at least do fortified churches in the middle, which could be nice. So deer pushed in. And hello, otter. Yeah, you can push chicken in this patch. I don't know why they broke that. That's a weird thing to break. And deer's around. The zebras and ostriches. Fair enough. Fair enough. Good little zebras. Is the meta here mill or endless pushing? I don't know what the meta is here. We've seen lots of pushing. We've seen some milling. We've seen Dark Age donjons from Sicilians. We've seen skipping the lumber camp for insta barracks drushes. We've seen Armenian longswords. And we've also seen lots of skirmishers. And considering it's Georgians Romans, maybe skirms are what we'll see here. Scout rush to push more deer. There we go. That's the real meta, Iberial knows. Mainly seen the high elos push and the lowers mill. Well, who's right? That doesn't necessarily mean one is better than the other. That just means high elo players use the APM because it feels better. Who knows if it actually is better? I guess it's a lot safer. There's a barracks from Nikov. Fact about monks. Nikov queues 3 monks per game as Romans. Feels like he's not clouding enough, but he will be the first one up, and I imagine the first one to do... He could go scouts. I have seen scouts on this map, too. I just feel like map's usually a skirm fest. What's he gonna do? Stable, okay. Maybe new patch. Scouts are viable again. So no mill for Acro. He has to be careful not to run out of food under the TC when he's up this late. Siege Challenger facts. Don't know if we're gonna have any of those this game. Now Acro is like, I'm done pushing, I'm gonna go mill. Nikov, maybe listening to your scout suggestion, gotta make 3 or 4 scouts to multi-push deer all at the same time. The Georgians, Acro researches wheelbarrow at 24 minutes and 4 seconds on average in a 1v1. Okay. I think it just did the fact and didn't know what SO was, so I just did a random fact.
Salve.
Deusa.
So house in front of the tower for Nikov, keep it walled in. Was the single best unit against monks and eagles? You die to Aztecs all the time on Arena? Aztecs like that are tricky to deal with. I don't know if there's any one good way to deal with it. Karambits might do it. That's a good one. Hard to use monks against that because the eagles can snipe the monks. So tower in the middle from Acro, gonna be not quite a tower war, but tower here denying some of the forward hunt from Acro. Nikov could even use the tower to lame the hunt. Yeah, it has food on it still, but at least we'll stop Acro from grabbing it. Acro would have to go over here, which I mean he's probably just fine doing if he gets another mill. Knight of Paladins, that's true. Teutonic Knights, probably not good against the monks. Even though they do have that conversion resistance. Great against the eagles though if they can catch him. That's true. So Acro also, he hasn't gotten a lumber camp yet. He's using the fact that this map is 200 wood on the straggler trees. So you have 1,000 wood around your TC you can gather. And I mean, honestly, if you have the tower in the middle protecting you from scouts, you could even risk a middle lumber camp. Although, when I say risk, I do mean it literally, as there is a Vil going down. Probably had lots of food on him, too. Big Georgians to use the mule cart on the hunt. You know what? Yes, Acro. That mule cart would probably be very useful in the middle of the map right now. Now that you mention it. Ah, now that you mention it. Light Cav should work. Light Cav can be useful in that matchup. You definitely can play Light Cav against Monk Eagle. I don't think it's straightforward though, because if you get enough eagles in the Castle Age will win against the Light Cav. Up, where'd it go? Oh, double mill cart on the gold. As the tower goes up to defend that. Acro definitely now starting to fall behind. Nikov 1k more res collected, and you can feel that. Just in the fact he has a much better army. Yeah, the army numbers are kind of similar, but you can just feel Acro is behind with the positioning here. Nikov has the confidence to go forward with those archers. Magic plus foxes with gold. Yeah, monks and eagles cost a lot of foxes these days. For the Aztecs, of course. Yeah, there were those T90 cannibal games where you collected from the villagers. So Castle Age on the way up for Nikov.
Impera.
Archers still might not want to run under the tower. Does food from dead Jurchinvilles not decay? I think you have it the wrong way. I think if the Jurchins kill someone, then the food from the people they kill doesn't decay. So aggro manages to click up, but a minute behind. And that res collected difference is only expanding. Roman efficiency kicking in by this point. And Nikov just a tiny bit more where he'd wall and at least have one of his sides safe of his base. He's going double range archers, those will be crossbows soon. And he can keep hovering around the back with the scouts, keeping track of those goldvilles. Goldvilles oversaturating the gold mine. And the food from whole corpses. Don't give Forgotten Empires any more ideas. Also, nothing garrisoned into that TC. Archers could even start attacking it.
Salve. Impera. Tibi Serpio.
And there's the GG from Macro. But he did manage to get a win, so 3-1 in favor of Nikov there. That's 5-2 for Nikov. And better res collected there at the end. Took the middle a bit more efficiently, and I think you're probably onto something when you said the mule cart at the back might have been not quite what Acro was planning. 5-2? KD is 5-2. Or no, what did I say? What is 5-2? Yeah, KD is 5-2. Not the score. 3-1 win for Nikov. KD is 5-2. There we go. What is value percent gold measures? Total value of the military units this player has and the gold proportion of that value. So if you have all scouts, it'll be 0%. If you have all monks, it'll be 100%. Or meat should be poisoned if it is killed by TC. Oh, that's how you combine the features. It causes like bleed damage to the vills collecting from it if the TC does it. If you're not careful, they all die. All right, do we get more sets? We casted several sets earlier today. This is our last set, so I'm gonna be off for today, but I'll be back probably tomorrow. T90's playing tomorrow, so I think we'll cast him. And yep, the petard way exactly. 10 petards, 2 conks, 10 petards. And a dream that worked out. So I'm going to end the stream. I'll raid someone on Twitch. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you again tomorrow, 14 GMT, Kapach versus Soxy. I'll be up early for that. Got some work to do managing tournaments and maps and stuff tonight.